Alright gang, welcome back to our Frugal Millionaire Challenge on Mazo. You join me as I'm active in the process here of getting rid of the rest of the trees that we're able to get rid of that are back here in the back portion of our farm here. Remember I talked about how there were still some trees back here that we could still cut, that we had yet to do so on, and we're doing that now. So we're going to sell a lot of trees today. That's really the only thing we have to do today, honestly. Everything else we have that we could potentially do is all regarding tree cutting. There's really nothing else we can do right now. None of the things that we've actually planted or drilled are ready to harvest. We can't harvest them even if they were ready to harvest. So we're kind of in a predicament here where we have to find things to do, and it's really going to be the wood chip stuff. So that's what we're going to do. Now, a lot of what we're probably going to do today, honestly, is going to make us enough money that we may not have to do a whole lot more on this series. I suspect that all of the wood chips we're going to sell today are going to pretty much get us damn near the $1 million. So we're really close, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, to finishing this series. Doesn't necessarily want to finish the series, but to complete the series and the rules on this series, we're very close to it. So when the time comes, right? We just have to move on. The good thing is we have a lot of other series that we're currently doing that are a little more dicey in regard to being able to finish them before FS25 comes out. So it's a good thing, right? We can always replace this series with those, doing multiple episodes of those to be able to catch up. So it's not all bad, but yeah, it's sad to be this close to finishing this series. As you can see, we're already, $100,000 in right here. When we get rid of the rest of the trees today, we're probably going to be at $1 million, and that's really the main thing left to do on this series is to get to $1 million. And it's really not hard for us to do that. If we were to sell everything that we have right now, easily, well over $1 million. But we're going to try to get to it without having to sell anything, right? Try to get to it with utilizing or keeping everything, I should say, that we currently have. Currently, we're at 119,327. We have a lot of fields that are ready to harvest. When those are ready to harvest, we're going to make a lot of money off of those as well. So we got a lot of money coming in the next month or two of this series. So our goal here is to try to get rid of all of these trees that are relatively close back here to our other field, right? And eventually, I mean, if we need to, I don't think we're going to get to that point, but if you just imagine it, like eventually we would be expanding this field out here further, right? You can see just by looking behind us how much further we actually could carry on with this field if we really wanted to. It's a lot. It's a lot. Now we're at 91% here. I don't really think it's worth even chopping down another tree at this point because I feel like we are going to not get as much yield if we were to chop down another tree right now. So we'll go ahead and take this back and sell it. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are going okay here, as well as they could be, given the circumstances, right? Circumstances that you know about and you've heard about over the last few episodes, and if you haven't, well, check those out. Some personal things in life going on, just things that happen. It's sad, but things that happen. So, but all these wood chips we're chopping down now, I mean, truly, this is going to get us probably damn near $1 million. So, what I would at least like to do is at least harvest, I don't know, 1 or 2 of these fields at a minimum, right? If we're able to harvest a couple of those fields before we complete the series, then I'll be pretty happy. But I don't see this series ending. I don't see this series lasting any longer than August at this point. Could be wrong. That's just where my guess is. My guess is this series will be done end of August at the latest. And see, a lot of the wood chips that we're trying to sell are being put into that, our other little dump truck there. I don't want it to go in there, but that's just, they happen to be going in there. It's thinking I want it to go there, and I really don't, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. They're in there now, so that will help utilize that for, Right, so we can't get any of those. We'll help utilize those wood chips for our heating plant, right? Don't know if this one's going to work or not, but let's try it out. Nope. I kind of thought it wasn't going to, but you know, it was worth a shot, right? It was worth a shot. So we still have another, I don't know, 5 or 6 trees here to chop down. And then we've got the other field across the way that we bought in the last episode, right? So we're going to get really close here, I think, to $500,000 in this episode alone by itself, without even doing anything else. So, yeah, kind of just solidifies what I've been saying, right? That we're very close here to ending. Now, other than selling these wood chips, the only thing really we can do is try to buy another plot of land, right? But I don't even know if it's really worth buying a plot of land at this point. I mean, we can just buy it just to buy it, I guess, but I don't really think it's necessarily even worth doing at this point. I feel like the amount of land that we currently have is sufficient. Like, we have 2 fields right now that are just cultivated, ready to have something put into them. We don't have anything we can put into them at current. With the exception of, I think we can put grass, maybe? No, we can't even put grass in right now. We can't put anything in. Nothing until technically next month we could put cotton in, but we're not doing cotton. So March, right? We have 2 months where we can't put anything else in the ground. So kind of just, you know, we're kind of going through the flow here. We're gonna have it. We're gonna have it. We're gonna be at nearly 200,000 here. Yep, 190 grand. And by the time we get the rest of these trees over here cut down, we're going to be damn near 300,000, if not over it, right? So, I mean, it's just kind of a time situation at this point. I would like to at least harvest one of the fields before we end the series, but I mentioned before, I think that we would, you know, harvest all the fields. I just don't know if we're actually going to get to it now at this point, seeing how far we are along now and how much money we're making from these wood chips, right? I mean, we're going to be very, very close to $1 million here, just from the trees that we currently have, without buying any of their land whatsoever. And as a matter of fact, we might actually break that $1 million barrier. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Bad thing because I really do like this series. I don't necessarily want this series to end, but it's a good thing because it helps us with the rest of our series that are having a little bit more of an issue, I think, trying to complete them in time for FS25, right? So I don't know why I was trying to get another tree there. We're at 99%. That would just be a waste. But let's see if we can get the this wood chip out of there. Perfect. So, I don't necessarily love doing a time-lapse of just chopping down trees here, but it is better than doing it by hand with a chainsaw or an axe or something like that. It is better material than doing it that way. So let's get some more of this done. Let's see what kind of money we end up with here after we get rid of a bunch more trees, and we'll go from there.
Invincible.
All right, we got rid of a lot of trees, but we still have a lot to go, and we're damn nearing 400,000 by the time we sell all of this. So, yeah, I think we're real close to finishing this series off. Now, what we might end up doing, well, I don't know for sure. We might end up spending a little bit of money and buy another plot of land that has some more wood on it. But I'm not positive, right? I'm not positive on that statement. But we might. I guess we'll see where we end up getting to here. Today is literally going to be just doing the wood chip stuff almost entirely. It's going to be probably a little bit of a shorter episode because I've already done, you know, a time lapse of doing the wood chips here. There's not really a whole lot else I can do. The only thing else I can do is buy more land, but I mean, and maybe build some stuff, like build some productions of some sort, right? That's really the only other things we can do today. There's nothing we can drill or plant, nothing we can harvest, so it's you know, the only thing we could potentially try to get is another grass field that we could harvest, maybe the grass field, and make some silage, right? That's the only other thing we could even attempt to do right now. We're kind of in those winter months, which we were in before, where there's just unfortunately not a whole lot to do. We mowed all the grass and did all that stuff recently, so yeah, there's not a whole lot else that we can do right now. So we're just gonna carry on here with knocking down all the trees that we can, all the trees we can find, and we're gonna just see where we get to as far as our money goes here. I suspect fully that once we're done knocking down all of the trees that are here, that we are going to be at a point where we have enough money to complete the series and not even have to harvest anything. I truly believe that. So, yeah. I mean, we're averaging around $30,000 to $33,000 every time we go and take the wood chips to go sell them. So, I mean, it adds up. It adds up quickly, right? Well, we've got, I mean, not that many trees, I guess, but we still have a decent amount of trees left to go here. So that's what I'm saying. The only thing I can see us doing is potentially taking some of the money here and buying another plot of land that has trees on it, because that's all we're gonna have to do here for a little while. And if we spend some of the money and buy another plot of land, it's going to get us to a point where we, you know, more than likely, I guess I should say, that we'll have enough money to finish or complete the objectives of this this challenge, right? Right now we're at 100% here, but I'm just trying to get rid of some of the other stuff here that's just kind of laying around, like that stuff. Just get rid of it, it's easier. I mean, realistically, we probably have another 15 trees in that area, and then some small ones, really. Alright, so, I mean, we're going to be at half a million after this episode, easily, if not more. Now, I talked about, you know, maybe cutting some of these down and carrying them over, and we still can... Whoa. Ooh, that was close, Byron. And we still could potentially do that, but I think I'm going to just do wood chips for pretty much everything over there. What we might end up doing, since we're knocking down a lot of the trees, we might wait until we get all the trees done and then cultivate that up and, you know, get it prepped for turning into an extension of the grass field over there, right? We may not put the grass down, but at least have the extension there ready to go. I don't know. Maybe we'll put it down too. Maybe we'll put the grass down too. We probably will, actually, now that I think about it. We probably will. But yeah, that's kind of where we are here. And I don't really necessarily want to do another time lapse of wood chips. I feel like you saw a lot of wood chips already. You've seen a lot of wood chips in this series to begin with. So I think what I'll do now is just do a bit of a jump cut here until we're done getting rid of all those trees over across the way there. And when that's done, then we can kind of make our decision on if we go ahead and cultivate that area up and you know, drill or plant some grass, however you want to say it, seed some grass. That will be a little bit behind and just kind of allow it to catch up, right? That's probably what we'll end up doing, but let's see where we get to. Let me get rid of the rest of the trees. Let's see what where our money is when we're done. Or the exception of this one tree right here, we're done. We've cut all the trees down over here on this side, so we can easily expand these fields out. And I think that's what we're going to end up doing. We might just cultivate them up. We might not put anything in them. But, well, we can't put anything in them, I should say. But we can at least cultivate them up, get them prepped and ready to go in case we do need to put something in them. So, let's get the rest of this sold. I would suspect we're going to be just under 500,000 after we sell this portion here, because it's not a full load. It's only 89%, 61,423 liters. So I would suspect we're going to be about 480, 490 as far as our total money goes, $480,000, $490,000. And then we have that one big tree over there to get, and then once that tree's done, then we're done. We don't have any other, well, we do, but we don't have any other wood or trees, rather, to chop down there, or at least that we want to chop down at the current state. So it'd be really easy for us to just, you know, go into here and chop down a bunch of these trees here, and we'd easily be at 500,000, if not way over it. But we're not going to do that. We're gonna stay true to our morals here of not getting rid of the trees here and keeping this as a little bit of a tiny little mini forest here behind our little farm shop, right? So let's get the rest of these sold. All right, well, it's just under the amount that I expected us to be at. I said it'd be about 470, 480. We're at 469,896. Now, what I think we're going to do here, I'm just going to set this right here, which is kind of just randomly placed, but, you know, we'll just gloss over that for a minute. I'm going to take the rest of these wood chips, I'm going to dump them into our heating plant, and whatever does not fit into the heating plant, I'm just going to go ahead and sell these, because we do have a pile. It's not a very big pile, but it is a pile nonetheless over there of wood chips, so I think we're going to be sufficient with those wood chips for foreseeable future if we dump the rest of these in here. I don't know how much is going to accept. Maybe most of it, or if not all of it, but okay, so yeah, a lot of it. There's only 7,250 liters left, so what I'm going to sell here is really not going to make that big of a dent here, but we're going to be probably at a 475, I would think, at least a minimum, if not more. I was completely wrong. We're only at $833,000, but that's still a pretty decent profit, honestly. Now, the thing to note here is, with the exception of the wood that we said we weren't going to sell, like the trees here that we weren't going to sell, we don't have any more wood to sell. So the things we can do here, really, if we go to a bird's eye view, or the best I can do for a bird's eye view on console, is extend the grass field here, which we probably will do, right? Kind of go here, maybe a little bit further even, maybe here-ish, right? Cut it over, extend the grass field, and then we can kind of prep this field, because this field we don't have anything in it, right? So we can expand the field out here just a little bit, not a huge expansion, but it is an expansion nonetheless, right? So we could do that today, or we can try to see if we can find another plot of land to buy with some of the money that we just made, right? Now, if we buy something like this field here, for example, or this field, or any of these fields, really, we're probably going to be at a point where when it is time to harvest something and sell it, we're going to be at $1 million, right? We don't need that much. If we buy this one right here, like, that's going to do it. Like, if we buy that plot of land, there are so many trees there that is going to put us well over the $1 million mark. Well over it. Costs a little money up front, but it will definitely put us over that line there, right? So what do we do, right? What are we going to decide to do here? Do we buy it now, or do we buy it in the next episode? I think we just buy it now. It still puts us at almost $300,000. I mean, that's the trees here are going to put us at $1 million. I'm almost guaranteeing it. Like, it's a lot of trees there. That's a lot of trees. So yeah, a lot more than the trees that we had here. I mean, you can just look at it and see. So this is a little bit of a shorter episode here, gang, but we're going to leave it here. We'll probably do a day 2 in January, and what we'll do in the day 2 is get rid of the rest of these trees here, and we'll see where we are as far as our money goes. We do need to, like I said, maybe plow this area up right here and expand it all out, but we can do that in the next episode. We'll leave this one as a little bit of a shorter one, and we'll call it there. So, hope you enjoyed it. Check my other channels out if you haven't done so already, and until next time, I'll catch each and every single one of you in the next episode.